Graphics optimization is an important part of Fireworks because when you want to load your images onto your website, you want to have them as optimized and as well functioning as possible. You want to get the best possible graphics with the least possible size of the image. This is where Fireworks' optimizing effects comes into play. As we can see, I've selected my image here. I've got a whole bunch of different colors, and I'm able to select here in the optimization panel. If you don't have it open, you can select in Windows and you can select the optimize or press F6 on your keyboard, and this will open up the optimizing panel. From here we're able to adjust between the different kinds of images that are available to us. We've got GIF images and animated GIF images, and basically a GIF image is an image that allows us to have transparency. So we are given some options here to have no transparency, index transparency, or alpha transparency, and we can select the different transparent areas by clicking here with the eyedropper, and we can select upon the image itself, and this will be considered index transparency because we're indexing different colors to be transparent. Under our choices, we're given a choice of different color palettes that were available to us. We've got the Web Snap Adaptive, which is by default, and this is a choice of web safe colors that are going to be available on our website. We've got the Web 216, which are the standard colors available for all browsers. We've got Macintosh, Windows, Grayscale, Black and White, Uniform, and Custom colors. Top corner here we have a choice for the Matte, which is going to be the background that we're going to be using. When we're going to be using this particular image, we're able to set the background to whatever color we want. So this right now would be the transparent colors that we would want to see. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the 2-up so we can see a different comparison, and we can see that we're working on the second one here, and as we're changing the matte, it changes also in the background of the image. We can see it better when we select the JPEGs and we see that the matte is the background area. With GIFs, sometimes it is better to select a matte area because it will eliminate the jaggedy edge. What it is up to the designer and how you particularly want to have your custom design made. We've got a choice of the amount of different colors that we're going to be using. We can have 128, 64, 32, and as we decrease the amount of colors, our size of our file will also go down. We can see here that our original file, this is the size of it. As we decrease in colors, we'll see a decrease in the size of the file size. For Dither, this is the difference that you see sometimes. We can see here that there's a dither that when you've got it's basically how it blends, different colors blend together. The gradation will work. So if you find that you've got a lot of gradation, you've got a lot of separation between all of them, then you have to work with your dither to set it appropriately for your image. And then below that we've got our transparency, where we've got no transparency, we've got index transparency, and alpha transparency. So if we allow no transparency, this area here is no longer transparent, and it's going to be similar to the JPEG image. It's good to keep in mind that all images on the web, no matter if there's a transparent background or not, are going to be rectangular in shape. So the area behind it is still there, whether it's transparent or not. The image is still rectangular. Also, the color table, where we're able to work with the different colors. We're able to add and remove colors that we need to in order to optimize. We can delete colors by simply clicking on them and pressing the delete here. We're also able to add in colors by pressing the add, and we can add in different colors. We're able to work with the different color, editing the different colors that we already have available to us by pressing OK. and we see that the colors now, the ones that represented that particular color, have now been edited. We've also got a web safe snap, so this automatically snaps this particular color to a web safe color, and we're also able to lock that color so that we don't accidentally change it. And as we can see, when you go over the color, the dot in the middle represents web safe colors. On the right hand side it represents edited colors, and we also have, if it's a locked color, we have a square around it which represents the locked colors. Generally you're going to be using GIFs for either animation or to have an image with a transparent background. You're going to be using JPEGs for higher quality images such as pictures. The reason that JPEGs, they also have an option of up to 16 million colors, and we don't have as many options. We don't have any option for transparency because the transparency is not supported. So JPEGs are always going to be, we're going to see the full rectangular shape of the JPEG. So if you're working with it, and if I'm uploading this on the website, and I'll always see this yellow background area because it is a rectangular shape. JPEGs are adjusted by quality, where I can adjust the different quality of the image itself. And I've also got an option for smoothing, and this smooths the image and blends it together, as we can see. And we can see that when we increase the smoothing level, it also decreases the size of the actual file because it is blending it, and it is asking for less colors, and it's blended better together, decreasing the size of the image. In the optimizing selection panel, we also have some choices here where we're able to save the settings. So if we've optimized an image and we want to use some other ones, we want to use the same settings, we can save it. We can delete the settings. We can optimize it to a certain size, where we can enter in the size in kilobytes that we want to optimize this image to. Select OK, and it'll automatically optimize the image to the size that we've selected. We can see that the quality and everything has gone down. We're able to export it. We've got a choice for progressive. What interlaced and progressive means that when the image is loading, when we deal with GIFs, we've got interlaced. That means that it loads partially, and same with, we've got the option here for loading options is progressive for JPEGs. So we can select that or deselect that depending on what our options are and how we want the image to load. We're able to remove the unused colors, which can decrease also the size of the file that we need to work with. We're able to load a palette, save a palette, and of course we've got the options for the panel just below. We also have, under modify, we've got a choice to have selective JPEG, where we can save a JPEG mask, we can restore the mask to the selection, and we've got different settings, and we can remove the JPEG mask. So this is entwined with what we were working with earlier with the different masking, and we can select the settings. We can enable selective quality, and we've got an overlay color. This is the color that's going to be over the actual image itself, and we can adjust the quality this way also. JPEGs, we've got our PNGs, PNG8, PNG24, and PNG32. And what PNG, they're relatively new, and they're standing for Portable Network Graphic, and it's a new file type with basically based for the internet. And we've got basically 3 different choices here. They all support transparency. PNG8 is limited to 256 colors. PNG24 has 16 million colors, and it utilizes the loss compression. So if we select PNG24, we see that we have the choice for the different loss compression. And then of course we have PNG32, which increases the size of the file by the most, but allows us to have the best quality of the graphic itself. So mainly people are using GIFs and JPEGs because PNG is still fairly new. Then we've got the TIFs and the bitmaps, and we're also able to save our fireworks images to either the TIFs or the bitmaps. And we've also got TIF different sizes, 8, 24, and 32, and bitmaps 8 and 24. Bitmaps are also going to be fairly large file sizes. So if we were to save it as a bitmap, because each individual dot is actually mapped, so that's why we have bitmaps. When we have 24 bitmap, we're going to see probably one of the largest file sizes that's available. The TIFs are centered for printing, and when we convert it to a TIF, we also have fairly large file sizes, and this is what, depending on the application that you're using, some applications require TIF images. And then we have some options here too where we can adjust the mate. Default settings where we can select, and this opens up once again the GIFs and the default settings here. So these are what the computer is suggesting us for default.